Yeah. You know, and you got your closer, you got your setup guy, your closer. When they get in the game, hey, sit back and watch, man. I mean, it's their job. They're not going to be perfect. You can't be perfect in this game. And, you know, no doubt, as soon as been in a little bit of a rut, and so that was a big one for him tonight, you know. So he's feeling good. We're feeling good. But we played a good ball game. Big night from Josh. A real good night, you know, at a Hap. Did a lot of good things. Played some good baseball.
John, do you see Hap getting in a rhythm like he did last year at times?
Yeah, I think he's on a nice little roll. I'm trying to, you know, ever since he came back the second time or from the injury, you know, you eliminate those first couple starts where he's just building up. I think he's been rock solid. He had that one outing, can't remember who was against, but or he struggled, but he'd been sick for 2 or 3 days before that, you know, puking and everything. So, but since then he goes out there and, you know, he looks as good as I've ever seen him. I thought he did a nice job tonight. You know, ran in a little trouble late, a couple walks. Yeah, he's feeling good too.
John, when a guy has a resume like Josh does, are these kind of the nights you expect sometimes where he produces everything you need kind of all by himself?
Well, I mean, it's hard to hit 2 home runs in a game, but we've seen him do it before. But, yeah, you know what? Anytime he steps into the box, you expect something good to happen, you know, because he's been doing that for the last few years. And really since he first showed up here in Toronto. Yes, it's, you know, and if there's guys on base, you know, he's one of those guys, and you know he's had his struggles this year, the ups and downs, you know, and things like that. But he's one guy, you know, when he steps in the box, you feel that something could happen, and the guys on the other side, they always feel that too, because you know he's one of the premier players in the game.
Was there any like sort of specific way Hap and your relievers talked about how they're going to face Judge tonight?
It's top secret info. Yeah, I thought we pitched pretty good. You know, he's dangerous. You know, he always is, and you know, I know he's been struggling a little bit lately, but you know, he can in one swing of the bat, he can change a game. And you know, you're supposed to struggle. I mean, there's never been a man alive that didn't, especially starting out, that didn't go through those ups and downs. And what he did in the first half was incredible, but. You know, I guarantee you he'll finish strong and still have a monster year. And I mean, we don't like seeing him come to the plate. I know that.
Gibby, Donaldson's 156 home runs, 71 have put his team ahead. Is that more than just coincidence? I mean, is there such a thing as a big-time clutch hitter?
I think there is. You know, there's arguments out there that doesn't matter. You know, I disagree. You know, some guys do it in the moment, you know. Like some guys make big shots in the NBA when games are on the line, you know, and quarterbacks make big plays. You know, there's something to that. But that's a big number. You know, because there's a lot of guys that'll hit home runs, and sometimes, you know, when the game's out of hand, padded one way or the other. That's part of it, but certain guys do it when it, you know, just judging from those numbers. I wouldn't have guessed that because that's real hard to do. It's half of them, you know.
Hey, John, when you got a closer as young as soon as it still is, and he's going through a rough patch, do you guys pull him aside after Sunday and give him, you know, does he need a little confidence boost, or is it just water under the bridge? You guys just throw him the ball again and on we go? Yeah,
you know what I mean. If this was his first year doing it, might be different. You know, he's pitched. You know, he's had, you know, 2 tremendous years for us. He's pitched in the playoffs, some big games. You know, we talk to these guys every day. You know, we don't specifically always lock in on something like that, but you know, maybe we've talked about a few things. But it's part of baseball. I mean, has there ever been a closer that didn't cough up a save? And I know it's been a little rough road the last couple of weeks, but you know, maybe you're a little spoiled too. I don't know. Or maybe you haven't been watching.
John, you were saying that opposing pitchers are kind of aware of what Donaldson brings to the plate. It seemed like today Sabathia really hung to him. Do you think that he kind of has an effect on opposing pitchers that might make something like that happen?
Oh, yeah, they're careful with him. I mean, you know, Buff was talking about Judge today, about our approach, you know, And you're careful with certain guys in the lineup. Most of the time according to the score, that kind of thing. But yeah, because you get a reputation in this game because you produce, and sometimes just trying to be a little too careful, you end up making mistakes. But there's one or and maybe two guys on every team, depending on what kind of team you got, that everybody's always conscious of them, what they're doing, if they're hot or not, and they're the marquee players in the game. So you're smart if you're a little cautious, unless the game's out of hand a little bit. You got a nice, comfortable lead or something like that.
Thank you, Gibby.